Hello students, I am Dr. Jagan Mohan and we are discussing about the subject power generation systems and economical aspects. In the power generation, we are always searching for as number of options, more options to generate power. So because day by day the power requirement, the power demand will be increasing. So we'll try to produce as much as power as much as possible with different sources. So we need to produce more and more day by day. Every minute the demand will increase. And in that process, we have discussed about so many sources of electricity in the previous lectures, and including renewable and non-renewable. And now we'll see about the diesel power plant, which is also comes under the category that is, it is a non-renewable, and also this is a thermal power plant. This is a thermal energy. So thermal energy means every fuel will be having some chemical energy, and when it is exposed to the oxygen with certain pressure, it will burn. So for burning, we require the oxygen. So the same thing as the coal. So what we have done with the coal, here also we are doing with the diesel. So diesel and petrol, gas. So if you come to the thermal power, we are having different options, including solar thermal energy, which we can call it as a renewable energy. Solar energy is renewable energy. In that also we will get solar thermal energy, which is different from the photovoltaic energy of the solar energy. So along with that, traditionally we are having thermal energy, means traditionally we will deal majorly with the coal. Even for today, the most reliable source is the thermal energy in action. So in that category, also conventional has seen about the nuclear energy, and also we have seen about the gas, and similarly there is a energy from the waste. Then also we are going to use thermal energy and geothermal energy. So it is coming from here. So here there is another possible source, which is conventional. Already we are using. For example, if you go to the in your childhood or in your past days, so suddenly those days where the shortcuts were there, power cuts were frequent. So I have seen when I went to the shop, jewelry shop or clothes shop, so suddenly the power cut will be there. Suddenly they will on the generator, some sound will come, and suddenly the power will come in the shop. And even in big industries, even today we are doing the same thing to meet the power cuts. That is, generator means that generator runs with the diesel. So that is for very small appliances, even for the cinema theaters, all these things. So we can do this in your office or in your home or in your working place or something, a business place, commercial place, whatever it may be. The same thing, how we got this idea, the same thing, because we have done the same thing in the power stations also, for meeting the peak load or for meeting the critical situations. Then the diesel will be having storage of diesel, and suddenly if the demand increases or any shortcut is there, power is there, and if there is very much need to give the power immediately, because it may be very damageable, it may become very destructive. At times we are using all these things. It is a practice, even in the power stations. We'll be having a spare for the diesel, generally in the thermal power stations. But the capacity is less. Okay, so the diesel power plant. So even if you want to run a diesel power plant and you have to supply to the government or for your private purpose, you should get the permission from the government. So that's why we can say the diesel power plant. The diesel power plant is a government approved place. Okay. So without government permission, we are not allowed for diesel power plant. So diesel generator for in your home purpose, surely you can use. There is no problem for that. But if it is in a larger section, if you want to run it as a power plant, so there is the need for the government approval. So diesel power plant is a government approved place that is responsible for utilizing the thermal power to convert that diesel engines into electricity. So with the help of, there will be some chemical energy in the diesel, and we'll burn it and we'll get after burning. So normally the chemical energy is converted to thermal energy, and that is with the help of the generator that is converted into mechanical energy, and that is coupled to the generator, and the mechanical energy is converted to electricity. So it is designed in a way that it can process the chemical energy. So the chemical energy is stored in the diesel fuel into the something called mechanical energy through diesel engines. So diesel engines itself, the engine, otherwise you can compressed ignition engine. You can also call it as compressed ignition engine. So with compressing energy, will create some pressure and it will create some spark. With that, the diesel is burned, and so many gases are released, and that force will rotate the pistons inside the engine, and the mechanical energy is created, and so it is coupled to the generator. So engine is linked with the generator. That is the regular practice actually happens. So this mechanical energy is then further converted to electrical energy mainly through generators. So generator, so mechanical energy, which is created by this engine, is converted by the generator into electrical energy. So are there any places which we are using in India? The diesel energy, diesel power plants are there. So there are some popular diesel power plants in India like Brahmapuram diesel power plant, KPCL Kasaragod oil power plant, and Nallal diesel power plant. So these are the places. And now maybe there may be more diesel power plants. So first thing is the same as the coal power plant. There is storage, coal handling plant there, and here fuel storage tank. Fuel is probably normally the diesel power. So next we'll be having some filter to filter the impurities, and we'll be having some pump. So this pump will store the fuel, that is diesel, in that day tank, and again it is further filtered, and again it is sent to the fuel injection pump. So from there, fuel injection pump, and from there, we'll be having the diesel engine, and it is going to produce the mechanical energy, and it is coupled to the generator, and to the generator we are going to produce the, you can observe the diagram, we can produce the AC power. So there is a rotational process involved there. So AC power is rotational process. So here also, so mechanical energy. So if we are saying mechanical, means there is a rotational process. So there is a rotation. If the power is generated in the rotational process, means so there will be ups and downs. That is AC. So alternating current. So afterwards, so there is enormous amount of so in the ignition process, there is so much gases will be released, and those gases are going to create pressure and create the mechanical energy, and the mechanical energy is captured to diverted to as electrical energy. So much enormous amount of heat is produced. So we need to cool it. That's why this is the cycle. So the hot oil, so lubrication oil is needed. So there is a mechanical movement there in the engine. So lubrication oil is needed. This is one cycle. So this lubrication oil is again cooled and again sent back to this multi-cylinder diesel engine. So this is the multi-cylinder diesel engine. So that's how we are recycling this lubrication oil. And also there is a need to cool that engine, that is hot water. So from that engine we will be getting out the hot water, and this is pumped to the spray tank and again pumped back. The cooled water is pumped back to the multi-cylinder diesel engine. So in the diesel engine we will be having multi-cylinders, 4, 6, 8 like that. In this process there is air is needed, so we are going to supply the compressed air, and this is it will go through the starting air tank, and also here there will be after that it will be sent to the diesel engine, multi-cylinder diesel engine, and also there will be air filter. So one normal air is sent after filtering, and compressed air is also sent after starting a tank. So because some compressed air is needed for the ignition process in the multi-cylinder tank. So there will be a silencer anyway to release the waste gases and also to decrease the sound. So this is the functioning. So first thing, there is a fuel storage tank. So what are the main fuel storage? Fuel is important, and the multi-cylinder. So from the fuel storage, we'll be having a filter, and filtered will be pumped to the day tank. So we'll see in such a way that always there is a reserve of fuel will be there in the day tank, and it is sent to the multi-cylinder. Again, once again, there also the fuel is again filtered, and then it is injected in the fuel injection pump, and the multi-cylinder engine, the mechanical energy is produced. And the gases which are released due to ignition are sent back, are sent through the silencer, and also the air is sent to the multi-cylinder diesel engine after filtering, and also the compressed air is also sent to the diesel engine after going through the starting air tank. So since there is so much mechanical movement is happening there in the engine, the lubrication is needed, and that lubrication naturally gets heated because of the so much amount of energy released in this process, in the process of engine, functioning of the engine. So that is again taken and cooled in the oil cooler, and again the cold lubrication is sent back to the engine, and the engine, to cool the engine, the water is circulated, and the circulated water probably gets heated, and the hot water is pumped to the spray tank, and after cooling again it is pumped back to the engine. So here also we are getting the AC power. So this is the functioning of the diesel thermal power plant. So if comes to the diesel engine is also known as compression ignition engine. So compression ignition engine. So it is classified as 2-stroke and 4-stroke. Even in our automobile, you can observe. So when we are using the Chetak, all these things, that time it was 2-stroke. Now we are using the 4-stroke. Yes. So petrol also, I'm telling. So according to the number of cylinders, diesel engines are classified as single cylinder and multi-cylinder. So generally, if you are using the single cylinder, it is called a single cylinder diesel engine. It was at the starting of the invention. Now we are using multi-cylinder. So diesel engines may have more than one cylinder, that is 4, 6, 8 like that. So normally multi-cylinder 2-stroke diesel engines are used in the diesel power plants. So normally in the diesel power plants we are using the 2-stroke. At the end of the compression stroke, we are saying stroke. So why you need to put some pressure? So at the end of the compression stroke, the fuel is injected. So without stroke, the fuel cannot ignite. So due to that stroke, it burns, and burning gases expand and do work on the piston. So what is happening? The piston will be moved. So because of this expansion of the burning gases, the engine is directly coupled to the electric generator. So this engine is coupled to the. This is a very common process in all the power productions except the photovoltaic energy. So the gases are then exhausted from the cylinder to the atmosphere. So we have seen it will go out to the silencer. So engine starting system. So there is a starting system for any engine. So what is the air? Here we can see. This includes air compressor. So already we have discussed in the diagram, air compressor and starting air tank. So these are very important. The name itself is a starting air tank. The function of this system is to start the engine from cold by supplying compressed air. So we are going to supply the compressed air. Generally, engine will be cold. So that's why this is needed. Fuel system. The pump draws diesel from the fuel storage and it is stored in the day tank. Already we have seen in the diagram. Day tank supplies daily fuel need of the engine. So that's why the name day tank. So what is the daily? What is the requirement for the day? It will be stored in the day tank. And the day tank is usually placed high so that the diesel flows to the engine. Generally, it will be provided in the high level, so it has to. It will due to gravitational force. It will easily flows into the engine. The diesel is again filtered in the it is also filtered in the inside the diesel inside the diesel engine before injecting to the engine to the fuel injection pump. The fuel is supplied to the engine according to the load. So according to the load, we are going to generate the power and also according to that supply also. Air intake system, the air filter. So generally, air will be having some impurities or dust, which will disturb the quality, or sometimes which may stop the ignition process. So generally, we are going to filter. So this is very small thing. You can even observe in your bikes also. So air filter is used to filter dust from the incoming atmosphere. Air filter may be of dry type, which is made up of felt, wool and cloth. So these are things, wool, cloth, like that. In an oil bath type of filter, the air is swept over a bath of oil so that the dust particles get coated. So that is the oil case. So next thing is exhaust system. So in the exhaust system, we will be having, you can also observe in your bike. So exhaust system, where from your silencer, the waste gases are coming from the silencer. So silencer is provided to reduce the noise, and also it is outweigh. So engine cooling system, the temperature of burning gases generally will be from 1500 to 2000 degrees centigrade. Say 1500 degrees centigrade, 2000 degrees centigrade. So water is circulated, we have to circulate the water. So water is circulated inside the engine to keep the temperature at a responsible, reasonable level. It will melt probably. So the hot water from the engine is cooled in a spray tank and recirculated, and cool water is recirculated. So engine lubrication also will get heated, so we have to cool it and again circulate it back. We have to recirculate that cool lubrication. Governing system. The function of the governing system is to maintain the speed of the engine at constant, which is very, very important, irrespective of the load of the plant. So this is the thing we have to be careful in a diesel power plant. So the speed should be maintained constant irrespective of the load. So this is done generally by varying fuel supply to the engine according to the load. So fuel supply. So if the load is less, we will supply less. If the load is more, we will supply. Okay. And regarding the advantages and disadvantages, we will deal in our next lecture. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.